What if, in this exact moment, something shifted beneath the high-gloss surface of crypto as we know it? Imagine the invisible thread, the one that wraps itself around our hopes, our fears, this collective pulse called the market, pulled taut by an unseen hand. Out there, in the world of corridors and conference rooms, where men and women in crisp suits orchestrate change with a signature or a word, something extraordinary just unfolded. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, has painted a single green stroke on the canvas of uncertainty, and it lands wildly, defiantly across 4 altcoins. 4. Not 50 or 100, not scattered or hesitating, but sharp, focused, like a secret whispered just for us. Before I open the doors to this revelation, before we touch the edges of risk and reward together, pause. If you hear your heart thundering, if this spark of curiosity sets your mind racing down hallways of possibility, then let us be companions. Subscribe to Crypto 101 Central. Become a wanderer in this labyrinth with me. And yes, that bell icon, cling to it, let its ring carry you whenever new tides roll in. We are building something here. Not just a channel, but a gathering of restless souls searching for clarity amidst the fever dreams of digital wealth. Now, step inside. I am not here to simply chart the price of tokens, but to draw the trembling outlines of what it means to seek, to hope, to stand on a threshold when the world is watching, and maybe, just maybe, doubting. I have wandered the stark corridors of this news all night, restless, my thoughts looping. The CFTC, not simply a faceless agency, but a gatekeeper leaning forward to select 35 architects of tomorrow. Among them, 20 sit with crypto at the heart, veins pulsing with code and ambition. But it is these 4, the chosen, the blessed, the scrutinized, that hold my gaze. First, there is Hayden Adams, his name resting at the summit of the list. Shepherd of Uniswap. Uniswap. How often has it appeared to me in the blue gloom of late trading hours, oscillating between promise and peril? If you asked me mere days ago, would I have embraced its future? I would have hesitated. Let my answer waver and drift, unanchored, a lukewarm sentiment in a tepid market. But today, I can no longer ignore the thrum in the air. BlackRock. Yes, that same BlackRock, the colossus standing at the threshold of old finance, has set its gaze and its capital on Uniswap. Imagine it. BlackRock, a titan swinging open the doors to decentralized walls, buying tokens, not carelessly, but with something more than loose change. They might be silent, their investment veiled in secrecy, but the fact remains. BlackRock wants a seat at this very table. And Uniswap, despite the wild highs of euphoria, despite falling like a comet through the harsh winter of the bear market, tumbling down by 91% until only the bare bones of resolve remained, somehow it finds its floor. The chart tells its own version of the story. A flash of green, summoned by the weight of BlackRock's wallet, flickers up, but the market shrugs, unconvinced. No parade, no riotous stampede. Instead, Uniswap sinks slightly, tiptoeing back to that cold October floor. For a moment, it hovers near the number 250. But here beneath the surface, I see the possibility of something rare. Buying now would feel, to me, like lighting a single match in a pitch-dark cave. Risky, foolish, perhaps, and yet urgent, hungry. There's a line we must not cross. The trend line, harsh, descending. The market slides further, then I too would consider fleeing, cutting losses, letting hard lessons set in like November frost. But if Uniswap holds its trembling ground, I can see a gentle bloom of optimism, a fragile ascent. Now comes XRP, familiar and frustrating. If there has ever been a token that haunts my dreams with its half-promises, it is this. XRP, the restless wanderer shackled by a descending channel, almost a year long. The candles, week after week, cling to support with the desperation of a man clinging to the edge of a cliff. Zoom closer. The picture unravels, support slipping, turning to resistance. The slide inevitable yet painfully slow. I am not bullish here. Not yet. My heart says wait. Let XRP claw its way back. Let it re-enter its old range before I place a single battered coin upon its altar. But hope is stubborn. On the 4-hour chart, I see flickers, attempts, half-realized pushes. It is a reminder that even when an altcoin seems buried beneath weeks of pressure, it might still rise, like a stubborn weed in fractured concrete. So I watch, my pulse in sync with each candle, wondering if the time will come again to believe. Chainlink arrives. Farther down the roll call, Sergey Nazarov, dreamer and builder. Chainlink support is no temporary scaffolding. This is a multi-year, multi-cycle foundation. On the weekly and daily charts, stories entwine. Prices swoon, then rest, then quake again. The support remains, battered but unmoved across years, its roots tangled in the very fabric of this space. I see the white lines, the ghostly bull divergences curving on the one-day chart, whispering lean forward, dare to hope. When price slumps to a lower low and the RSI dares to rise, what is that if not defiance? The market cycles. Divergences couple and retreat, and now, for the first time in ages, I see a divergence so subtle it almost slips past, hidden in the flatness of price, the RSI surging, hinting at life beneath the frost. If Chainlink coils for another plunge, dipping to 550, perhaps lower, then the decision becomes one of faith. Would I gather more, betting on the ancient strength of that foundation, or would I watch, apprehension building, as the walls tremble? Now, at the end of this procession stands Solana. At the utter edge, Anatoly Yakoveno carries its banner. These are not just names, they are signifiers of a rare trust, of weight conferred by gatekeepers. Among the 20 crypto companies, only 4 tokens are named. Solana rests there, not nervously, but with the poised stillness of a dancer on the precipice of motion. Solana's chart, its level of support, has the authority of a landmark carved from granite. This is not new territory. Time after time, as rallies have sparked and withered, this line has acted as both shelter and ceiling. Again the price hovers, again it pulses. The RSI leans upward, its bias bold and unyielding. Resistance looms, up top. September, October, January. Like the tolling of bells, Solana has tested, withdrawn, gathered strength. Now, trading near 80, I watch the ceiling. 108. Invisible, daunting, and yet so close. If the price shatters it, then euphoria reigns. If support falters, floor could crack, spiraling us downward, perhaps even to 40. But I promised you something more than charts and names. There is a rumor that curls through these halls, a possibility, a trembling. They say that clarity is coming. Listen, Scott Bessant, Secretary of Treasury, has spoken. Crypto investor sentiment will rise, confidence will ignite, once the Clarity Act finally passes. And there is the shadow of a promise behind those words. The act is expected to land, and Donald Trump, we are told, stands ready, pen in hand, to usher in a new epoch. Hope, regulation, fear, a mingling that leaves the air charged, raw as the sky before a summer storm. The CFTC may have given these 4 a green light, but it is you and I, our choices, our tremors of belief, that determine what happens when these coins meet the future. Will you follow Uniswap, bold and unpredictable? Will you bet on Ripple, biding its time for a return? Will you trust the ancient bones of Chainlink? Or step out onto Solana's wide plain, daring fate to meet you there? Pause, now. If this journey through fear and fascination stirs you, if you wish to continue walking these corridors of crypto together, I ask you again, like this video. Let me see a flicker of your light in the algorithmic night. Share your thoughts. What would you do if you could only choose one? Which coin would you champion through fire and frost? And when this story draws quiet, when the last chart fades and the next cycle waits on the horizon, linger here with me and with us. Watch the other videos. Let the bell's reminder be our meeting point. We move forward together, restless, searching, undaunted, in the strangest, brightest world ever built from code and longing.